first 2:30 game, we have the 8th-ranked Colts. Colts versus the first-place Cowboys.
Yeah, I need more information. What's happened to the Colts? I don't understand. I mean, they're sliding. They're on a 3-game slide. They've lost the Pac-9, Raiders, and Panthers the last 3 weeks in a row. They've been without the quarterback. Is he out indefinitely?
I think he's on the injured list.
No, I heard through the grapevine he will be there this Saturday.
He will be there. It's a different game. I mean, I have no idea. They were an Elite Four almost the entire season. They wake up Saturday. By the time they went to bed that night, they're the 8th seed. And it's amazing how close it was this past week. I think of all the games that could happen, of the big three, right? The Cowboys, Seahawks, and the Pac-9, the team that has the biggest chance of losing and being upset this week is the Cowboys against the Colts. If Colts can play like they've played early in the season, they had their quarterback, and they catch lightning in the bottom. I think they're the only ones who have a chance to upset, but I think it's still going to be very difficult, and I don't think it's going to happen. I think the Cowboys are going to win this in 42-20.
I was just going to ask you, where were they going to find that lightning at?
Yeah, I don't know.
Go ahead, Leo.
Ain't no lightning at the end of the tunnel. Listen, no, I do agree with Chris. If any of the top teams that have the possibility of being upset, it will be us. We play the Colts. The Colts should be an elite team. They should be part of that top 4. The Panthers don't belong to be in that category with us. So I just want to tell the Cowboys, come out like you've been coming out all year. Practice, stay humble, take every team seriously, and we're going to do just that with the Colts. But I think that the Colts are going to come to play. They had something to prove since they lost like 3 or 4 games in a row, and they went from like 4th to like 8th, and just like this. So I think the Colts are going to come out to play, and it will be a close one, 32-25, and we're just going to sit there and squeeze this one out. Like my defensive coordinator always says, is you want to beat the Cowboys, you got to score 30 points, and we're not giving up 30 points.
Yeah, the Colts, you guys talk about it. They've been cold the last half of the season, and Esky's kind of been cold too. I know Jose's been dealing with Frankfurt playoff baseball, so he's been that's been kind of taking up some of his time. I'm hoping that he can come this week to see a more competitive game, because I think they're a different team when he's out there offensively and defensively. Yeah, I think he's a big part of their team. The good thing for the Colts is the playoff starts a new season. So maybe in a regular season, you don't beat the Cowboys, but now it's 0-0. Nobody got no wins. No one has no losses. It doesn't come down to any mistakes you made. It comes down to who plays better on Saturday. So they have an opportunity. I've seen 8 seeds take out 1 seeds and make a run to go to the championship. Do they have enough? Does Jawan have enough to bring the Sumo? Can these guys step it up and take it to another level to play with the best team in the league? I don't know. I haven't seen it, especially not in the last 4 weeks. But it is a possibility. It's just going to be, do they have that desire to give everything they have? And for the Cowboys, maybe, they have a game where it's not their best. But the Cowboys are too consistent, coming off beating the Pac-9. I think you guys trailed at halftime. And
by 1 point?
By 1 point. And you guys came back in the second half and calm cool, and you guys shut things down. But I think what the Pac-9 prove is you can move down the ball against that Cowboys defense, but they get stingy in that goal line, and you have to be creative and smart with who catches that ball. If you guys are dropping balls on 4th down, you guys are going to have problems competing with the Cowboys in end zone, like end up happening for the Packers. Should have been an even closer game this last week. So in this one, as much as I'd love to see an upset, you want to give real prediction scores. I think maybe it'd be a closer game, and I guess I'm going to go for it, but I still got the Cowboys winning probably 40-32. Maybe the Colts come out with some kind of magic, but I still think even with magic, it might not be enough.
Well, in order to be the best, you have to beat the best. And we want Jose there because we want to beat the best Colts team. Chris, we beat the top 8 teams in the league except for the Colts. And we're going to try to do that Saturday. Jose, if you need a ride, I'll pick you up and bring you to the field. Just let me know. I got the Cowboys. I got us beating 32-20. Last 2:30 games, the 6th-ranked Lions versus the 3rd-ranked Pac-9.
Yeah, the Lions are an exciting story. It's interesting. This is their first time in history that they've made the playoffs. And on the other hand, the Pac-9 has never missed a playoff since they've been in the season. So you have two different people coming at with a different experience. The Lions are actually sixth on offense and seventh on defense, which is best they've ever been. I think they've set a foundation for greatness. Not this year, but I think in the next years to come, they have some pieces there that they can build on. And I think the Pac-9, if you're not first, you're last. I mean, you know what I mean? And so they are last, I guess, going into this game. But I think they're going to beat the Lions and get back on track, and they're going to beat the Lions 43-19.
Ooh, 43-19.
Yeah. It's not going to be. Yeah, Shane's going to just blow it up this week.
I don't know. I mean, the Lions have momentum. I mean, they're together. They're on fire. The churches came out and supported them. And everybody's rallying behind them. And I think that momentum is everything, when it comes to playing a game, especially when both sides of the balls have talent. I think that the Lions are a very talented team, and the Packers are a very talented team as well. But I think it's not going to be that much of a difference as far as scoring-wise. I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think that the Lions are going to come out and fight and compete, but it's going to come down to who scores more in the goal line. And I think that if we all seen all year, the Lions struggle in the goal line all year long, and I think that the Packers will learn from their past mistakes against the Cowboys and realize what they can do better to score in the goal line, because they're going to need it not just for this playoff game, but every other playoff game, and they're going to use the Lions as practice in the goal line. They're going to take advantage of that, convert on extra points, and they're going to win this game 35-24.
Yeah, I mean, in this game here, I'm really excited for how the Lions have turned around their season to become a playoff team. I think at one point they were kind of sinking, and we were thinking, man, they're probably going to end up being in the poor four, and they turned it around. I think Richards has been playing a lot better at quarterback. And he seems to be finding kind of new weapons they're going to go to. Pedro has evolved this year as a football player on offense and on defense. There were talks about making him a 1 this year. Some people weren't taking that seriously, but I think after this season, there's no doubt that he will be a 1 going into next year, and probably a candidate for most improved player of the year. But then you also got some other factors. You got Carlos, who he doesn't come all the time, but I can't see him not coming to this game here. And his brother Isai, who I think made the top 10 this week with his two interceptions for a touchdown. Another one,
Unique.
Yeah, and then you got Gio,
And
Unique. No, Hassan.
Oh.
Hassan, yeah. So you got Gio and Hassan and Mach, which makes this team an offensive juggernaut. They got the pieces. It's going to be defensively. Can they shut down Shane? And these two teams have scrimmaged a lot during the regular season. Yeah. They scrimmaged out probably about 4 or 5 times this year, and so they're going to be familiar with each other. But as you guys can see, even have the tough. It's hard to shut down the Packers' offense, even with the you guys are grabbing every flag. You guys didn't miss any flags, and they were still able to find a way to drive down the field. And I know Ryan is really excited about this game. Kashin, Crazy Legs, he's excited. These guys were at the park last week. That's all they're talking about is beating the Lions, and AJ and Cisco, I think, are going to bring a unique mix to the team. And Bello, who's, could almost be an MVP candidate for the Packers, is probably going to have a good game against Richard, because Richard is not that mobile at quarterback. So it's going to come down to who turns the ball over. But as you can see, as good as the Packers are, if they're not there mentally, they can be beat, as the Cardinals showed you. I believe that was week 4. But in this game, I just think Shane and these guys, they want it too much. Jeremy's probably going to explode this week too. Another big kind of wide receiver that goes unmentioned a lot.
But he's about this team.
Oh yeah, I think they're in it. If they can get together, they can make a championship run. But like I said, going into it, I've coached teams and we've been favored to win and we've lost.
8-0.
Right, so you don't, the regular season goes out the window. It's all about who produces this week on Sunday, Saturday. So I think that the Packers are just a little bit better than the Lions. So I'm going to go with the Pack win in this game, probably 35-21.
Wow.
You got to go with whoever has the best quarterback play, and you got Shane, what's the quarterback for the Lions' name?
Oh, Richard.
And I think that we all know on this table the better quarterback is Shane, and that's you have to.
Right, but they got to play like it this week.
Yeah.
It's whoever plays better this week.
I think you guys are underestimating something.
Ooh.
As a Cowboy coach, I like our size, our length, and our speed.
Mm-hmm.
The second team I believe that has all that is the Lions. I think it's gonna come down to coaching. Pac-9 struggle with length and size.
Wait a minute. We got some size over
Length
there.
and size.
Shane pretty big, Jeremy pretty big, and
We
Ryan
got
jump
Carlos
out the sky.
over there.
Carlos
we
is
got
a stud.
big man number 2.
Oh, you talking about Tawan? Tawan had 2 touchdowns this week. You know, his
We got
first
the
2
little
years.
guy that jumps out of the field. He jumps out the park.
You talking about what's his name?
You coach the Lions, bro? You said we.
What?
Oh,
Quan.
wait, I'm sorry. I don't coach Lions. But listen, it's gonna come down to coaching. Who's gonna outcoach who this Saturday?
Yeah, and the Lions have been making strides. They definitely have improved. Their coaching staff has stepped it up these last 4 games.
And I'm predicting 30-25 Lions.
Gotcha.
Ooh, that's why we don't let the host make predictions.
All right.
And that'll be it. Right?
That's
I don't
it.
got
Yeah,
no
come-
Bible verses, no alternative verses.
But make sure you guys come with the field knowing them.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so I guess that wraps it. Let's come check us out at the field. Playoff games start at what time, Chris?
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock, and there's no 4 o'clock games
Nope,
this week,
1 o'clock
right?
and 2:30.
So
Be
1
there
o'clock
one.
and 2:30. Guys, be there, bring your families, and come ready to ball.